All right, so we're back in the saddle here, just continuing our ride to the south. And so here again you can see yet another one of these access roads, and it has the private crossing sign. And so here you have the box for the fiber, so 93.53, and so again that is the mileage on the Kinghorn. And so for the original lines, what we need to do is subtract the 49.7, and so that becomes 43.83. 43.83. All right, let's keep going here. Now, interesting little thing here coming up. When I was here in 2020, you know, I come sort of riding along, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck is this? And so obviously this big hump in the grade was not here. This has been done since the railway grade was pulled up, since the railway line was pulled up. And so basically what it is that property owner here wanted to be able to access the bay here, and the problem was you basically have a steep embankment, and obviously it's very difficult to get up the other side. So what they did was they kind of filled in this section of the grade here to make a more manageable drive. Now we don't normally get this, we don't get to go downhill and pick up speed. So let me pause here for a second. Just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Again, there's lots happening on this section here. I try to keep my head turned this way a little bit, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of glare. And so here we have yet another road crossing, and I had a chuckle with this one when I was heading north, and I'm going to show you why in a second here. So the sign is right here for the crossing, and this one, maybe they ran out of English ones, so there's a French one, traverse temporaire. How's my French? It's kind of funny. I've mentioned on previous occasions before that both of my boys, so both Ethan and Noah, are in French immersion, and maybe not so much now, but you'll get the occasional kind of look. But especially when they were younger, and I would try to say stuff in French, and they'd give me a look, right, and be like, really? And it's like, hey, I'm trying, you know, don't always have the perfect inflection. Okay, hey, look what we got here, kids. So another flanger sign. So this is the flanger sign for the crossing right there that we just passed. So there's one. And so here we're actually getting close to another lodge or another resort. Again, you can just see the beauty here. Like, I just can't say it enough. Here you can see some crib work from the telegraph pole, and just look at the rock ridges here, and just the beautiful little area in here. So this is we're coming up to what is known as McCollum's Reflection Lake Resort. Reflection Lake, there's actually a little lake that's formed by the land there, kind of sandwiched between the railway grade and the road. And so I was actually just chatting with the owner, Lori, on my way north. He's telling me how he enjoys watching my railway videos. And so I was we were chatting, and basically he was telling me about, because I kind of knew part of the story, but basically this lodge was, or this resort was founded by his grandfather, by his father, back in 1943. And so this has been around here for a long time. It's the last sort of operating resort on the bay. Here, it's hard to see, but I think, so right here, it only shows up 1 year on the timetable. There was a spur here belonging to Northern Wood Preservers. Northern Wood Preservers was one of the timber companies operating in what is now Thunder Bay back in the past, and so there is this thing that kind of looks here, and that's probably the spur that came down here. And again, it only shows up 1 year on the timetable. And so here is the resort, and there's Reflection Lake is just in there. And again, you can see the work that was done to build the grade here, because that was probably the original shoreline there. And so you can see all of this rockfill that was dumped in here. Now, guess what? We have more stuff. And so what we have here, I've never seen one like this before. We actually have a very unique flanger sign. Jeez. And so you can see the flanger sign on the top with the double, the two other flanger symbols on the side. That's sort of a wing indicator. So the spreader plow has these wings, and so the idea was that you needed to make sure that you retract the wings, because we're going to be crossing over a bridge very shortly. All right, let's resume the journey. You can see some ties here and tie plates. And so here's the resort. And here is kind of the main dock. Looks like they're replacing it. Laurie did say he was heading up to McDermott to get some lumber. Maybe the lumber is for the dock. And so here, the grade continues this way again, all rockfill. And so we have a bunch of stuff here before we actually even get to the bridge. So you can get to see the bridge there. And so here on this side, you see the highway here. You can just see the gorgeous cliffs. Beautiful waterfall over there. There actually is a little rest stop, and there's a little thing for the Pijatawabik Palisades. Very popular spot for ice and rock climbing. So here you can see permanent slow order sign. I believe that is. You can see the old school sort of pipe that's holding it up. And over here we have milepost marker for the bridge. And so again, older style one made out of wood. And so you can see the mileage there, the 93.8. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold up here for a second, and then we're going to make our way across the bridge. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make our way across the bridge here, leaving the resort, Reflection Lake Resort, behind. Make sure if you're looking for somewhere to stay, you want to check out this beautiful scenery in this area. Again, you can see the pretty waterfall over there. Make sure you look up McCollum's Reflection Lake Resort. Give them a little shout out. Okay, so we'll cross over the structure here. It's one of the few ones where the barricades are still in place. They haven't been pulled out of the way. So this bridge, and I'm going to check and make sure I got this right. I believe this is called a truss plate, through plate girder span. I'll put that on the screen. I'll double check that. Through plate girder span. Basically, the idea here is that you need a bridge with a lot of structural strength, but you don't have a lot of clearance. And so basically you want to allow enough clearance that, for example, a boat and stuff like that will get underneath. And that's the reason for kind of these big sort of side spans. The bridge itself is in pretty good shape. There's some ties that are a little kind of on the dinged up side. It helps that there's no sort of traffic that's going over the bridge, just people like me who are walking or biking. I don't know how many of those people that there are. So here you can see there's the conduit for the fiber optic cable. We'll just kind of pan back over here, look across the bridge so you can see the milepost marker, slow order. You can see the Palisades. There's that beautiful waterfall again. All right, so we're down here on the northeast corner of the structure. You can see the southern part of Orient Bay here. There's a beautiful little waterfall coming down. You probably can't see it, but you can probably hear it. So here's the structure from the side. So again, you can see the span. You can see the concrete abutments. This is about as close as I can get. If I can get any closer. One of the neat things, this is a benchmark. So there is a benchmark for the bridge. I'll put up the elevation for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the other corners and have a look. Okay, so we're down here on the southwest corner. We're kind of a little bit backlit from the sun, but you can kind of see what's going on here. You can see there's been some damage to the abutment here, where Luna's standing. And you can kind of see the concrete here is flaking off. Now, I'm going to try to do this without dropping the camera in. You can see the date stamp here, 1920. So again, this was a structure that was placed earlier on. Right at the beginning of the Canadian national takeover of the line. Here you can see the conduit for the fiber optic cable. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't fall. And all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hop back up on the bike and just continue our journey to the west. And so here, I'm not even going to bother jumping on the bike because we have another stopping point right here. Actually, a couple of them. So there's one right here. And so what we have here is yet another flanger sign. This one's bent like a pretzel. This is similar to the one we saw on the other side of the bridge, so the north side of the bridge. So you see the regular flanger sign up on the top here with the other indicators, the other flanger indicators for the wings. You can see that this one here on this side has been ripped off, but basically it should look exactly like that other one. All right, so let's pedal over here, and we got yet another. Like I said, it's busy. After this is where things start to slow down a bit. The last part of the exploration here is not as action-packed. Again, so you can just see this. I sound like a broken record here. You know, you have obviously the transports driving by, but check out this beautiful view. You can see that waterfall coming down. You're probably getting a lot of glare. But, you know, check out the grade here. Again, just an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous place. I can understand why people would have decided to come and want to live here. So here you can see the view. What we're going to do is we're going to stop and take a look at something, and then after that I'm going to actually show you some drone footage that I shot last fall. I was here shooting some video for my video on the Glen River Viaduct, and this place is just absolutely gorgeous in the fall. So we'll take a look at that in a second. Now, next stopping point. So when I was here in the fall to do that video, I happened to notice this, because if you come here in the summer, you wouldn't notice this because of all the growth. So what we have here is yet another milepost marker. And so the milepost 94 marker with the requisite bullet holes in it. These are like big caliber bullet holes. These are not, I don't know. That looks more like a 22. These are some big caliber holes in there. So again, milepost 94 is the mileage on the Kinghorn. For the original lines, the mileage would be 44.3. All right. Let's we'll jump back up on the bike here and resume our journey.